Hi everyone, Julie back. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do an edit on this image of Emily that we captured in a recent shoot. The title's a little bit fluid. We're sort of bouncing between flowers, roses, he loves me not. It's something that we wanted to do. It's sort of almost an anti-Valentine's shoot, if you get my drift. So for anybody who's ever been stood up, anybody who's ever had their heart broken, anybody who just wants to scream down the phone or set the world on fire, this shoot is for you. So we had a lot of fun in the studio. I had these roses suspended from the ceiling. We had Emily in this gorgeous red dress, and we had her done up to the nines with hair and makeup by Teighan Felton, and I got to use my fabulous vintage phone again, which I just love, so using it in every shoot that I can, why not? So let's jump into it. There's a few things that I want to do to start with. Is I want to reset the crop on this to a 4x5, so I'm just going to use my crop tool, bring it out and just leave it on content aware fill and let it Photoshop do its thing. Okay, so it's done a pretty good job with that. There is still some stuff that I want to clean up on this, so let's jump in and have a look. So there's a little bit of gap on both sides where my backdrop didn't quite hit the floor properly, so I just want to tidy that up. So I'm just going to come in with the clone stamp tool and I'll set that to 100% and just move that along on that side, and then come over here and alt click and come over to this side. Just tidies that up a little bit. Now some of the flowers, because of the way they were suspended, they didn't quite go all the way up, so I just want to extend those up. I think it's just those. Now I didn't have as many roses as I want. I don't know the last time you bought roses, but they are kind of expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my lasso and grab a selection. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to move that copy over to the other side. Now I might just flip that over, and then putting a mask on that, then I can get rid of what I don't need, just with a soft brush set to black. Now it's a little bit lighter on that side than it is on this side because of the lights that I was using, but that's okay. I can come in here and I can clip this to that rose level, and I can just drop the brightness down a touch so that they match in a little bit better. Do I want any more roses? I think I might put in a few more, so I'm going to duplicate that layer again, and I'm just going to bring it back here. I might just flip it back over again so that they're sort of in the same direction, but I don't want them to look like exactly the same roses, so I'm going to put that there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the warp tool and I'm just going to warp that a little bit. Do I want any more roses? I could keep going and adding more, and I'm going to put another layer in. This time I'm just going to go up here, and again with my black brush I'm just going to get rid of some of the bits I don't want. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Might just do another brightness adjustment on this one. So that they match into the background a little bit better. Okay, so I'm pretty good with that. Oh, I just found another rose that had a stem that doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just going to go back into the clone stamp tool. And stamp that in there. Still got a little bit of a gap in there. And let's face it, if you're going to do it, you might as well keep going, right? So I'm just going to lasso this little one in here. Copy paste. Put that there. Put a mask on it. Okay, so I think I'm happy with it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to merge all that onto one layer. So now I can start going through and cleaning up anything else that I need to clean up. I'm going to jump over to the healing brush tool, and there's just a few little marks and things I want to get rid of. A bruise. On the floor there was just a few bits of dirt that I didn't quite sweep up, so I'm just going to clean those up. A few little blemishes in the skin. So once I cleaned all that up, I just ran some of my portrait retouching actions. So I've got sparkly eyes. Just click in there where, just get this out of the way, where you want the eyes to brighten up a bit. There's also some lash detail. If you want to whiten the eyes or the teeth, you can brush that in there. And then there's the skin softening. So this one, basically what I do is I hit the backsplash, you know, that angled backslash key on my keyboard, then with my brush set to white and quite soft, so it is very, very soft. The hardness is at 0. I'm just going to loosely paint in her skin, and then hitting X I swap over to black, or you can just toggle between the two and take it off the eyes and mouth. Now you can see there that it's pretty rough, and just the way I do it, and it works for me. Now it is way too soft, so I'm just going to bring it back to around about 20%, so it just gives just a touch of skin softening without being too much. Okay, let me just move myself over there out of the way. So what are we going to do now? So I have on some of the others, now this is one that I did earlier, I put some flames. So these were just some PNG files that I've had from I don't even know where forever, and I copied them and pasted them over, and I'm just popping them on this image as well. So I'm just going to grab that whole file over. Now they're all in the wrong spot So they're all sort of down here, and that's fine. So what I'm going to do is open up that folder, and I'm going to turn all of these off. Whoops, not so much those. And then I can begin to start placing these where I want to put them. They are set to screen on normal. They've just got a black background. So if I come in here, so that's what they like. I've just loosely grabbed them, set them to screen, and that knocks the black out, and then I've just got the flames there. So moving on to the next one, which is, oh, that's just some glow that I had behind all of those. So I'm just going to pop that in. Actually, I'll get rid of that one because it doesn't line up anyway, and I will show you how I did that. So the next flame, and I used a couple of different flames. They're not all the same flame, but some of them are. Now I introduced some smoke. So what this is actually a brush set to overlay. So if you can go to like Brush Easy and places like that, and you can get different smoke brushes. So you can just have them set to white, and you can come in, change the shape of it a little bit, and just put in a bit of smoke. So this one is just another little bit of smoke. And one more, which I'm going to go down to there. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to move that over to that one. So I'm going to go all the way back down to that bottom layer, and now I'm going to get my brush, and I'm just going to select a soft round brush, and I'm going to select a color from within my flames, maybe something a bit brighter. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that in behind the flames, and if I set that to screen, and I'm going to drop the opacity all the way down, so it just sort of gives a bit of a glow, and I can pat in some more in there as well, and I'm going to drop that down to 5%. So it just gives a little bit of light. So we've done some skin softening and added some smoke and some flames. Now I could add some fire to this one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way up to the top. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to hit merge, which is Control Alt Shift and E. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into DxO Film Pack 7, and I'm going to apply a filter. Now I have got some that I have been using. I've got two, one that I made myself, which is a gorgeous sort of vintage black and white sepia sort of thing. The other one is just one of their presets, which is called Beauty. So that's the Beauty. If I go through the filters and I look for my presets, and I've done one here called Emily Roses. So as you can see, that's quite grungy and vintage and all the rest of it. Torn on some of these images as to whether I want to go color or if I want to go black and white. I really am enjoying this Beauty preset, which was designed by DxO for this particular shoot. So that's the before and that's the after. So it sort of gives it a blue hue brightens things up. It's really quite pretty. So I'm just going to hit save. The other thing I want to do is a dodge and burn. So I'm just going to go back into my actions, select dodge and burn. This is going to give me 2 curves layers with masks on them, which are both inverted to black. So all I have to do is get my white brush on the dark layer. So that is doing my shadows. I'm going to come in and paint over my shadow areas. And yes, again, it's a bit rough. Don't panic, because I will feather that. So if I click on that, go to my masks and I feather it, that softens it up. Now I go to my light and I can feather that as well, and that will do my highlight layers. If you're finding it's not quite bright enough, you can just lift it up. And I want to give that phone a bit of a dodge as well. And I can come in and I can give some of these roses that are on fire a bit of a dodge too. So that's pretty much it. I feel like it's got those real sort of vintage film noir but really saturated colors into it. I love the flames that sort of just add that element to the whole image. Emily looks absolutely gorgeous and she is totally owning this shoot. We had a lot of fun on it. So I just wanted to bring you this little edit and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will put some of the other images up so you can see them as well. And I will see you next time on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Don't forget like and subscribe and give it a bit of a share, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.